So we're on.
Cool. Do you have the link for the YouTube?
Yes. You don't see that link?
That's the Google Plus link.
You don't see the links down there in the bottom right corner. Where is this links? So you don't have that for YouTube. All right. Yes. Yes, I'm gonna give it to you then. No problem. There you go. I actually need to open that up myself. So. No, that's not the. No, I gave you the YouTube link. You didn't see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw that. Awesome. All right, so as I wish they could update this this thing with the camera, so you can have the camera and streaming from your desktop at the same time.
Mm.
But I guess it's not possible. All right, Lola, I'm gonna wear those ears for you.
I'm not Lola.
Now I'm talking to Lola. So how about now? But that doesn't matter because you can't see the camera anymore. I still need that thing. All right. This is gonna be the solution until there is a better solution for this. You move the recording. It does that. Much better. Fit screen float on top. So I'm gonna put that one down there so you can see my super not nice face. Is that a zoomed in version? Actually, yep, it's not the zoomed in version. But it doesn't really matter. But what I can do is maybe object tech and that works actually. Save that setting. Go back into Photoshop and open Bingo, what's his name? Artjam 27.psd. My painting. My so far not very good looking painting. But hopefully that will change. It will look acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Google's changed its logo in the tabs.
They have.
Now multicolored G.
Change their color in what now?
The little logo that comes up when you open a tab.
Oh, in Chrome or whatever.
Mm.
Oh, I don't use Chrome.
That might work on your one.
And some music. Although you can hear it, but I can hear it.
Mm.
That's fine. So so I'm having an idea for the Artjam. Instead of doing all of us criticizing each other's work, we just dedicate one to critique for that session. Like example for painting, I critique all two of you, and we have the second one back. I think that will be much more effective, and it will be better.
Okay.
That's my belief. Am I streaming the wrong window? Yes, I am.
Let's try and find a picture I want to paint.
Stop screen sharing. And go to that thing. There you go. Now you can see it. And for some reason, that mono moved up over there. Shouldn't do. So I have a little challenge for you when it comes to painting. Since you were using the airbrush a lot, I want you to try to use a harder, preferably some more square or oval brush.
I was going to anyway.
Good. That's good. I think that will make it a little bit easier for you. And you can try to control the brush with some opacity rather than what do you have? Can you really think of something? If you can do that in I don't know. Probably you should, but
I'm not using, so I'm using the other one. Flip tool.
If you can use pressure controls opacity or something. No, actually, I don't have any opacity things going on for this one. No. Huh. I see some people turning off the shape dynamic, so the brush doesn't change size. It's just changing opacity.
Okay.
How do you press? But the most important thing when painting is to start simple and go more detailed. So if you're going to paint a ball, for example, you start with just one flat color, then you add the darkest shade you will have on it. Then you add the highlight, and then you start to create more subtle gradients to it. And if you're painting a landscape, start with the background and work your way forward. True, you can use layers and such, but sometimes it gets a little bit too complicated doing that even. And that's how you would do it with a traditional painting. It's very good to mimic traditional painting. You when trying to mix in colors. I think we could paint like 3 or 2 hours. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. And having a really good sketch in the beginning is also a good way of getting you starting. You can do with just paint in the beginning, but I find it easier to just have some sort of sketch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what are you painting today?
Landscape of Svalbard.
Ah. Awesome.
If I pronounce that correctly.
Svalbard?
Mhm.
Svalbard?
Svalbard.
Svalbard? Smell bad? No.
It's Svalbard.
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 Hmm. Samba music. It's good. Lola found some samba music. And also, it's easier sometimes to just start with some values instead of hue. And after you have done your value study, you can continue and adding some colors over it. Because if your values are correct, your painting, your colors will also look correct.
Mm-hmm.
So the values is actually the most important thing in the drawing or painting. How's it going?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Do you have the reference?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see that one?
Yeah.
So you're starting with the. You're starting with the black and white approach.
Like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing.
All right, so I think you should start with some black and white then.
Mm-hmm.
What I want you to do is squint really hard at this picture and see where is the darkest part, and try to paint those in as almost abstract shapes, and then see where the light part is and try to get all the values,
Okay.
value relationships first. That's very important. But you're on your way there.
Okay.
I think you're using. It's the same thing when you have drawn before, like you're really defining the shape in already. I mean, try to be rough. Try to be very rough. Maybe if I look at this picture, maybe just start as you have with. Ugh, can't really have that big one. Sorry, I need to sort of start with some, maybe a little bit lighter. Start with big brushes. Trying to. My God, my computer is slow right now. I think I need to crop this one down. So start by squinting and see the darkest value. I should turn that pen pressure, so opacity reacts to pen pressure and nothing else. And just start to find the very biggest shapes. To get something like this. You see, this is very, very rough.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the sky is very bright, so is the lake in some parts. And if you have a sketch, you can make this higher because you know all the shapes are correct.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're just doing a study. I think the mountains and these are blending together pretty well, actually. This one has a darker patch. There is a bit of darker at the top. Clouds are usually pretty bright. The snow is also very bright. It doesn't really have to be super accurate for the shapes, but the value must work. There's a darker patch here. If your paint is very rough, you will not be afraid of making changes. As if you have spent 3 hours painting a mountain and then realize it's the wrong value.
Mm-hmm.
But you see how this brush is very, very big.
Yeah.
I'm not using any shapes coloring in like this. Just very, very, very abstract. And then when you have all your values correct, then you can start to define some more and get more. Get those shapes a little more defined. I see how quick that was just to get some value. So,
Mm-hmm.
and of course the thing in the foreground is very, 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 very dark. Maybe. So yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And if I zoom close, you will see there's just a mess. But if you stare like this, maybe it could be something. It needs more value, that's for sure, but to start.
Mhm.
But for this painting, I had more of a tighter sketch, so I tried to make the shapes correct in the beginning, but they are still somewhat rough. So start with a big brush. Force yourself to use the big brush. Don't even allow yourself to use a smaller brush until you're satisfied with the value relationship.
Okay.
Did that help?
Yeah.
Also doing a much harder thing is to start with the color. I'm not sure I should have done that. But again, there's a lot of things I shouldn't have done with this painting. And you'll have you learn. Are we painting anything in real life?
No.
I gotta tell you, when I started in art school, I was the worst painter in my class and maybe even the school. I really, really sucked. I'm not very good now, but it's better. At least I'm getting to the point where I'm sort of satisfied with the paintings. It's a nice picture. It's a good one for study value relationships. And you can also cheat. You can take the into the program and just reduce the saturation. You will have a black and white version where you can study the value, because sometimes the color can fool you. Have you seen Inside Out yet?
Not yet.
Oh.
Is it good?
Sorry?
Is it good?
Do you want me to reveal that?
Well, you can tell me if it's good or not.
Oh yeah, all right. It was super awesome, mega good.
Oh, good. Worth watching then.
Really worth watching. I won't to tell you too much. Skype.
Mm-hmm. What's the best way to put the color over the values?
And that would be like first going over with sort of a very light wash of color on the color blending mode.
Mm-hmm.
And then you sample that color and you paint with it. So, and try to adjust the saturation and such to get it to be working. So you can't really just put it over the black and white and be done with it. You need to
No.
do some work after.
Okay.
And for that, I would use a paintbrush with no opacity and just, you should just be able to sample colors now and paint the entire picture.
Okay. On the same layer or on a different layer? Or does it not
Paint
matter?
it on a different layer and then merge them.
Okay.
I think you got some much better values in your painting now.
Thank you.
No, 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 no. Get away, you stupid tool. I remember on the color blending mode. You don't have a color blending mode? You don't have color blending mode?
Does not quite fit.
Let's go with multiply then. The painting will be a little bit darker, but you should be able to adjust it. That looks so much better. That's all my painting. I made such a mess of my drawing. I need to fix everything. Oh. Discovery of my lifetime. No. It's harder than one thing to do a painting. I still think you're managing pretty good.
I don't think multiply is going to work though.
Yes, it will, but you need to use a. Let's see. If you look at my color wheel, which I don't have open, there we go. If I would do a multiply, I would be up in this range for color.
Mm-hmm.
I can show you how I would do this. If I so let's see, let's clone this drawing here, this painting here, and let's say it was black and white. Let's say I was super happy with the values. I'm not, but that's for the sake. Let's say I'm happy with the values. So I put this new layer here on multiply. Could be good to use a more softer brush for this one, actually. And use a very high value, high value, pretty high saturation as well. So just get some coloring like this. You can even paint over the trees. That's to make sure you get the right coverage. Then you can do some adjustments if you don't like that color. So there we have the first color, and now we shall go to color of the tree bark. Let's go with some, again, with some really high value and pretty low saturation as well. Paint that over. It could be good to do it on, no, I'm not going to do it on another layer. And if that is not the right shade or the right hue you want, just choose another one. So you need to cover the whole painting like this. And then afterwards, it looks pretty dull, even though we get some color in. I'm just gonna color this thing here for you, or for me in my drawing, in my painting. All right, so let's say you're happy with this one. You merge it down with the layer below. So your your painting is now with this color all over the place. Should be covering everything. And put the new layer on, and we go back to our painting brush. And pressure, let's turn it off for now. And here you might want to use a bit of a cooler shadow, because that's not how light reacts in real life. So make a swatch here and add some blue to it. Preferably you can use the blue I used for the sky. I don't have one now, so it's time to improvise. Put it on a pretty low opacity, maybe 10. Some over till you get a shade you like. Put it back with opacity so you can get that one solid color rather than just opacity. And you sample that color, go over, and this is where actually the real painting starts. But now you have the color and everything, so you can, and the value of this. And then you go in, and once you have everything the right way you want, you just go in and refine, refine, and refine until you have it the way you want. You can now, if you want some more transitions between here, you can lower your opacity once again. Paint over. Let's go with some, not quite that low. Just to smooth out everything. And you also want to get rid of everything which is sort of colored. You want everything to be nice and crisp and colored in. And you're doing a lot of sampling the existing color. I don't know how you do that inside, but in Photoshop you just hold down the Alt key.
Okay.
So that's, you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the refine layer, and this is just to get you started with color. It's not the final product. Does that make any sense?
I think so. I'll give it a go.
Oh, mine is blue. But I think I like it, actually.
I think one of the things that's frustrating me is my pen is very laggy because of the size of the brush.
Oh, maybe you should do a smaller painting then.
Maybe.
The hardest thing about painting is getting everything looking clean and painted with the same. If you can look here, that mine's starting to look very. There's a lot of different hues, and there's no clean. It doesn't look clean. It's very hard to describe what I mean, but that's what I mean. And knowing about how light reacts to shapes, that's essential for a good drawing. Painting, I mean, it's not a drawing. It was a drawing. It's not a drawing anymore. I killed it. This is what you don't want, where you see it's almost very, very soft, undefined edge, glowing almost. And in a real painting, you walk away from your painting and never want to see it again. No, no, you step back from your painting and look at how it's looking from far away. Because if you're in here and painting, you won't see how it looks. You need to have that. Take that step away to see it with fresh eyes and see if it's looking any good. I'm not missing any comments on YouTube here, am I? No, doesn't seem to be any. Good. Well, it's sad there's no comment, but there's good I haven't missed any. It's gonna be one of those quiet streams.
Just trying to find out how to make the image smaller on this.
I suggest you just put everything on the same layer and then try to shrink the whole thing down. You can't do that. Think you can.
Just a second.
Gotta be able.
Oh, that's done it. That's more manageable to work with.
Awesome.
Actually responding instead of you paint something, then you stop, and it's only about halfway through.
Can you repeat that?
It's better than when you start painting something, then you finish painting it, and it's actually halfway through.
How do you mean? Do you mean because of that?
You're drawing a line from left to right, and you finish drawing the line from left to right, and the pen is still going at the middle of the screen.
Oh, it's lagging. Yeah. I getcha. And yeah, that is very annoying. It's almost like it's completely impossible to make a good drawing. Painting.
It's still too big. Either that or I just don't have enough RAM on this thing.
Sometimes with a painting, I find myself like, I don't know what to do next. I may need some more highlights on this. A good workflow when you're painting, like the stage I've come to, is to make a new layer and see if that works with that layer, then merge it down and make a new layer. That's how the control paint guy does it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very safe. You don't risk of ruining your painting until you're satisfied with how it looks. Then you can merge it down. Actually, I think it's time to paint over the lines. Hooray! Did I mention that? That once you're satisfied with your lane of colors and all that, you can start to paint over those sketch lines you have. It's a really satisfying thing to do, actually. At least I think so. Plingeling. The phone is ringing.
Mm-hmm.
I never answer the phone here in my home anymore. It never rings when it rains, it's never for me. And if it's calling, if people are calling me, they are calling me on my cell phone. Cell phone. I just love the way I said that. Cell phone. That could look better, actually. How's it going?
It's going.
Hmm. When you feel some parts of your drawings are, why do I say drawing when I mean painting? When you feel some parts of your painting is too bright, you can take a multiplier layer and just paint over with that and darken it down. That's what I've done for the tree in the foreground here. Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Trees. That's very hard to paint.
Mm-hmm.
Ding dong. So what do you think about painting so far?
I don't know. Difficult.
Oh yes, difficult, that's true. But does it feel like a nice break from drawing?
Not really. It feels really difficult. I'm really struggling with it.
Hmm. What is the thing you're struggling with the most?
Mostly the colours, values. I can get all the perspective and all that, okay?
That is color.
Mm.
And that is a tricky subject, I wouldn't lie. Also, did I mention that I hated the paint when I started?
Mm-hmm.
It was not good times. It was actually easier for me to paint in the computer digitally. Can never get the paint to blend on my canvas. There was no undo button. I think we should do this next week as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can think of how to improve your painting. And next week, I can give you a sort of a feedback.
Okay.
But actually, if you think about it, I have been working with this painting for 2 Artjams now. I know you have painted 2 paintings. So you are much faster than I am.
I wouldn't really call this a painting though. I'd call it a mess.
It's a start of a painting.
I think maybe if I look at this next week with fresh eyes, I'll be able to improve a bit on it.
So when doing this, have you learned something that you will do different next time?
Yes. I will use a smaller canvas.
Good, good. That's a good start.
And the values, which are difficult, and the colors, which are difficult.
Yes, it is difficult, but not impossible. I like to think that it helps when you just start by yourself trying to paint, and then when you feel frustrated, another person can help, like what I tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll sort of, you are familiar with it, so I can show you it. Otherwise, it would be useless to you.
Yeah.
If I just show you, this is how you do it, and you would have no reference of how you did it before, so you want to know that this method is either better or worse. So my philosophy is that you need to start to do it yourself, suck at it maybe, and then you can start to improve.
I think another frustrating thing with this program is it's all round edges. I can't get like a squarish brush like you have.
Oh, but you know what you can do in that case? You can make an oval brush. That will be almost the same thing.
I'm not sure how to actually make the brushes in this.
There should be some kind of... Hold on. Actually, if you... let me just save this one. No, apparently not. Let me save that one. So, and did I close this one? This is how it started. And this is how it looks now. So you see there's quite a big difference.
A huge difference. It went from winter to summer.
And you see I even changed the colors. Can you see that? This is sort of, I don't know, very dirty green, brown, yellow. And here is more luster green, and this bark is way darker and more blue. See, I tried to separate the hedges there.
Oh yeah.
As you see, it changes all the time. All the time. All right, let's see if I can. A new one. Brush. Well, actually, you have a brush here. I mean, this one feels pretty good. That one, and hardness, stabilization, and aliasing brush shape. Now you can have well any size you choose. Brush tip, brush density. Oh, there we go. Applying direction. I wonder thickness. Hardness, circle, material. It should be something like spray for stroke, texture, razor correction.
How do you find this option?
You go to this little wrench symbol.
Okay.
There's not any for making a brush oval. Direction. What I mean, isn't that an oval brush? Or is it? No, it's just
like a calligraphy brush.
Yes, so doing that direction thing. Brush shape. Apply brush shape. Register to preset. Oil paint, maybe? Oh, that's cool. India ink. Ah, that's terrible. That is pretty cool, actually. I gotta say, I never really uses these custom brushes. But this India ink looks pretty nice, actually. Needs some stabilization, though. I tell you.
It's a nice lineup with that brush, I think.
Oh, hello, Wibbleman. Welcome.
Hey, Wibble.
I felt like I had more control over this one rather than. Oh, maybe I have some control of this one too. How is the pen pressure setting? It is like that. Cancel. Maybe I'm less tired today because when I did line art yesterday, I had really big troubles getting good lines. So yeah, as you said, there is no way to make the the brush oval. It seems.
No, I think maybe if you, it looks like you can import some stuff, but I don't know where you get it from or whatever.
Brush shape. Still, I can't make any new brushes or anything. Material. Oh. Well, that's a lot.
Uh-huh. Maybe it just took a while to load it.
No, I had to go into the material tab and then push some button. I don't remember. Maybe the new icon.
Okay.
Or new things. Is it too much to ask to just have an oval? Well, apparently. Well, the droplet maybe work. May work.
It's a bit better.
Yeah. But this could make you mad. The color. You don't want this when you're painting in the beginning. You
No.
want some nice coverage.
I think this is something to look into with those.
Oh, thickness. It is thickness. But direction of applying. Here you go. Look, it's actually a novel. And thickness controls the ovalesqueness. Good term.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
And start with a bigger brush shape. Go into the brush shape tip thingy. Pull down the thickness, and you have. This is a pretty good brush to start with.
Mm.
Apart from that sucky thing in the end, which is very annoying. Do not save. I want to quit that program. I just love to paint over the lines. Removing all that messy quality of the painting.
I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
I'm back.
Hello and welcome back.
Thank you. Brush does a really weird effect when I set the opacity to low.
Very weird.
But if you go over it again, you get a good rock texture.
Yay.
So I think I'll rename this one.
Suck, but it does a good rock texture.
Yeah. But it's strange that usually a pen will like go on top of what it's drawn. This one goes underneath it. Very odd.
What brush is it?
It's one I made up.
Oh.
I didn't really know what I was doing, and it's done this. It's bizarre.
It's a bizarre brush, that's for sure.
It certainly is.
Can't you rename it to Bizarro or something?
I've renamed it to Rock Texture.
No, Mr. Bizarro.
No.
Why?
Let's see what it looks like if I do this. That's stupid. I don't want that at all. I want that. So, how is it? It's gone. Come back.
Very weird tree, this one.
Alright, there it is. Oh, now it's not doing that anymore.
Oh.
Depends what kind of layer you're on.
Sorry?
It does it on the multiply layer, but it doesn't do it on a normal layer. It just does that.
That is. You discovered a new type of brush. Name it after Vinny.
For some reason, it's got a white outline to it.
Okay.
Weird one I've ever made. I've only ever made one. Yeah, if it's on a normal layer, you still get a good rock texture out of it.
Yay. It's good you're getting something good out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Could just be just confusing and like be like a question mark and not do anything.
Let's try it under multiply. So it does. I don't know. So why did it work on there and not on there? It does it on that one. That's normal. It doesn't do it on that one. That's normal. That's...
Our world is very weird sometimes, and apparently the polar bear sign a modern day Mona Lisa. Yes, of course it is. According to Wibbleman, at least. Did I mention that I suck at drawing trees and painting them as well? So why do I keep insisting of painting them? Because I want to learn, maybe. I am just stupid.
Well, that's an interesting texture.
I know it looks kind of like a water brush, but not really.
Yeah. Well, if I was to make it really small.
Oh, that could be his name. Kind of look like I kind of look like a water brush, but not really. Bye, 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 bye. song?
Beautiful.
Fang, fang, thank you.
So weird.
Did you play Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah.
Do you remember this? Thank you.
Rings a bell.
It was so creepy. You had to poop eggs into an eggplant and it said thank you. Not an eggplant, a pot. In
Yeah.
the cemetery. In the ghost level.
That was one of my favorite levels.
Oh yeah. Do you remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still love Rarity these days. The games. Well, they're not the studio that they was. That's for
Nope.
sure.
No, they're Platonic.
Yes. My tree looks like somebody took a chunk out of it. Did I mention that I suck at drawing painting trees?
Drawing painting trees.
Drawing a painting tree. I suck at doing that. There's something more. Something more you need to do. Huh? No. Oh, no, 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 no.
Now giving a rough texture so that it looks even more rocky.
Oh, that's a better color. Way better color. I like it way more. Is that something?
Oh, no, I'm just playing around with this thing.
I got you playing around with the brushes. It's
Mm-hmm.
good.
I added some rough texture to this brush so it looks even more like a rock.
Stop the rock.
Can't.
Can't stop the rock until it stop the rock. Stop the rock. Stop the rock. I'm feeling very goofy today. I've been in school for a very long time, and actually, it is very surprising that I get home and paint trees when we have been working with trees and apples all the day long.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Our film is about Newton
Oh,
sitting in a tree, getting an apple in his head, getting a huge idea, and getting crushed by a lamp.
that's like Isaac Newton,
Yeah.
not the Binding of Isaac.
And the morale of the story of the history, the Marauder's map of the history. The moral of the history is don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to be crushed by a giant light bulb. So that's why it's very strange that I get home and paint a tree. Really need to put some colors over this. One of my favorites tune for this game. I think it's looking better at least. I think we need to wrap this Artjam up pretty soon.
Okie dokie. Aha. That's better. That's better.
Some blood on your street.
No, it was just burnt rocks.
Yeah, of course it was. Next time I'm gonna finish this painting.
That's me done, so I'm going to stop screen sharing so they can watch you finish up.
Finish or finish, I mean. Not finish. I'm Swedish.
Yeah, but Finland was part of the Swedish Empire.
What is it?
Yeah. And
Like,
then Russia took it over, and then Finland was like, no, we really want our own place now.
Finland is growing up. They need their own place.
Mm-hmm.
Stay. Gotta respect that. So it took Sweden, which I don't respect. So what do you think is missing in this picture? Painting.
A nice busty girl.
Apart from that.
Two busty girls. To be honest, I'm having a hard time figuring out where the light's coming from.
Well, it's actually coming from everywhere. It's coming straight above and it will bounce around. That's why it's so complicated to make a painting sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you should not be there. There could be some light coming here. Oops. No. Oh, no. Good. I think I see a strange familiarity to a certain painting. Let's have a look. That's how it looked before.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of different now. And where is that thing? There it is. Can you see the similarities?
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's from the same universe.
Well, I painted it, so maybe. That tree was a bitch.
I think Wibble liked my answer earlier.
Actually, I don't like those things. I think this is missing some highlight. Oh my god, that's bright. These should be in the behind.
Nah.
Oh, I don't mean it like that. Should be in your ass. That's better. But do you see I zooming out all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so hard to see what needs to be on there. If I do like this and go and look at a painting, if I can find it. Let's see. What is mine missing? It looks a little bit flat compared to that one.
Hmm. There's just a lot more highlights, I think.
That's true.
And they have blurred the background a bit more.
It's true. And there is also more. It's not a flat color as I am. There needs to be a more reason for all these branches. Not branches, but these leaves. It needs to be better. I need to write that down. Moar. Moar highlight. I like that one. Could that one work?
Oh, definitely.
This is usually how beginners do with color. Do you see the difference here?
No, I think it looks fine.
You're stupid. A tree looks radioactive. And tree bark is usually very, maybe not that brown, but that brown. And we have that's the green one I'm looking for.
Oh, yeah.
That's how people color outside the computer, but once they get into the computer, they, for some reason, want to use that color. That could work for highlights, I guess. And for blue, they...
Green, you might as well choose the greenest green.
Yeah. Blue. Let's see, we can make the bluest blue 0, 0, and 255 for blue. There we go. So this picture feels very saturated, even though it's not very saturated. If you look at the sky here for some part here, you'll see it's almost half of the saturation you can have. The green here is about 20% of the total saturation. So a little goes a long way. Let's see if we can. There's some interesting things with the sky, I would say.
Yeah, the sky looks radioactive.
Yeah. And if you look here, this is green, blue green. This is very bluish greenish. This is also very bluish greenish. This is also very green. That's very bluish greenish, and that's the warmest color I have. A sort of yellow green. But as you can see, I'm keeping here in the color wheel. Even for something that is supposed to be like brown, like this, you still get a feeling that this is the tree bark. This is sort of brown. So I'm in this range of the color wheel, and I'm not using color like that. I'm not using a color like that. I'm not using a color like that, even though it could look nice for a character there, but that I'm not in the in the actual painting. I don't think that will work. Maybe if you have some fruit or something, some parts could work. But I want to illustrate that I'm not using every single color in the color wheel. And I'm certainly not using very saturated colors. So that will stick out like crazy. And not these kind of colors. So A good way to start painting is to just stick with a color scheme, like I have here, sort of analogous color scheme. What you can also do is, if I show you, this is not just for you, and it's like for the people watching if they are interested.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where is that one? Lola Night. This painting here is only yellow and purple, and
Mm-hmm.
some little blue, but mostly those colors. Those are
Yeah.
complementary to each other, so those work very good. And you can really see that it's supposed to look like a carrot, then it looks orange, even though it's purple.
Mm-hmm.
You can see you get a lot of colors in this, even though there are only two major colors. And I think I haven't really done any painting where I had a certain color scheme in mind. I'm pretty sure I didn't do it for this one. See here, this painting is not super duper good either. You can see there this goes all over in the color wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And looks a little bit childish, sort of. But even though the most of it goes to purple and brown here, but still very spread out in the color wheel if you compare it to this one. Moar highlights. I gotta do this one to see how it looks from. Yeah. I can see now. That thing needs to come out. That shape, I don't know what I was thinking when I was doing it, but it looks super duper bad. This looks like a mess. And I'm not too sure about that thing either. So that's also a good thing. Flip your drawing once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
and you will see all those nasty errors you put into your drawing. All right, so I gotta save this one,
Mm-hmm.
and we are done for tonight.
Yes.
So thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you next time, where I will continue with this one and adding more highlights, and maybe hopefully we'll paint some more.
Yeah.
So bye bye.
Good night, everybody.